Okay, so have you ever like tried to get a room full of, business people excited about saving the planet?
Oh, yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah. It's like you're speaking a different language, right?
Italy.
You're talking about, like UN Sustainable Development Goals, and they're thinking about the next quarter's earnings.
Yep.
But what if we could like translate sustainability into something that speaks to like their world?
That's a good question.
Like the language of business. And that's what we're going to like dive into today.
Okay.
The Sustainable Business Model Canvas.
Right.
It's a tool that can help anyone from like sustainability pros to people working on government programs or even like entrepreneurs with a, planet-saving business idea.
It's like having a universal translator for sustainability.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes all those big ideas and turns them into something that any, business person can understand.
Exactly.
Like the SDGs or biodiversity, all that good stuff.
Yeah. And it's like a blueprint for building a business that's not just, profitable.
Right.
But also makes a real difference in the world.
Exactly.
And the best part, it can be applied to any business, no matter the size or industry.
Yeah. I think what's really powerful about this canvas is it helps you like move beyond, just talking about sustainability as some kind of add-on.
Right.
And instead it helps you integrate it into the core of how your business creates value.
Okay, so let's break this down a little bit.
Okay.
We're all familiar with the like traditional business model canvas, right?
Yeah. 9
building blocks outlining everything from your value proposition to your cost structure. But when we talk about sustainability, we add 2 more like game-changing blocks.
Okay.
Beneficiaries and sustainability benefits.
And that's where things get really interesting. Adding beneficiaries like forces you to think beyond just your immediate customer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who
else benefits from what you do, even indirectly? It could be like local communities,
right,
your supply chain, or even like future generations.
And the sustainability benefits is where you get to, measure your positive impact.
Yeah.
Like, are you reducing emissions, conserving water,
right,
promoting fair labor practices?
Yeah.
This is how you quantify your contribution to a healthier planet and a more equitable society.
And these 2 like additional blocks aren't just tacked on, they're like woven into the entire canvas.
Yeah.
So you're forced to consider sustainability at every step of your business model design.
Right. Enough theory. Let's see this thing in action.
Yeah, sounds good.
We've got some amazing real-world examples lined up, starting with Interface.
Okay.
A carpet tile manufacturer that decided to tackle a major environmental problem. Discarded fishing nets, polluting our oceans.
Now, they could have just, donated to an ocean cleanup charity.
Right.
Plenty of companies do that.
Yeah.
But Interface went a step further. They thought, how can we make this part of our core business?
And that's where their Networks program was born.
Exactly.
Instead of seeing these discarded nets as just trash, they saw a valuable resource.
Right.
A new source of recycled material for their carpets.
Yeah, talk about turning a problem into an opportunity.
Yeah.
They partnered with the Zoological Society of London to source these nets from like coastal communities.
Okay.
So they created a new income stream for those folks.
Right.
And reduced ocean pollution at the same time.
It's a win-win.
It really is.
But it gets even better.
Okay.
By incorporating recycled fishing nets into their products, Interface was able to attract a whole new segment of customers. Those who prioritize sustainability.
Yeah.
Which boosted their brand reputation and ultimately increased their profits.
Exactly. And, if you think about it, this entire initiative can be mapped onto the Sustainable Business Model Canvas.
Okay.
Their key partnerships block includes the Zoological Society of London. Their value proposition becomes about more than just carpets.
Right.
It's about sustainable flooring solutions.
Yeah.
And their sustainability benefits are clear. Reduced ocean plastic.
Yeah.
And economic empowerment for coastal communities.
Okay, so Interface shows how a company can like weave sustainability into their existing business model.
Right.
But what about when the challenges you're facing force you to completely rethink how you operate?
Oh, interesting.
That's where our next case study comes in. Michelin.
Okay, the tire giant.
A tire giant.
Yeah.
They were getting squeezed from both sides. Low-cost competitors were driving down prices, and environmental regulations were getting stricter. They knew they had to innovate.
Yeah.
And not just like incrementally.
Right.
So they did something radical.
Okay, I'm listening.
They moved away from just selling tires and embraced a tires as a service model.
Wow.
Instead of buying tires, outright customers would pay per kilometer driven.
Now think about the implications of this shift for their business model.
Yeah, it's a total game changer.
It is.
Suddenly, Michelin wasn't just incentivized to sell more tires.
Right.
They were incentivized to make tires that lasted longer.
Longer lasting tires.
Which is great for the environment, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
It also transformed their customer relationship block. Instead of, like transactional one-time sale, they were now building long-term partnerships with their clients, working together to optimize tire performance and reduce costs.
So they went from selling a product to selling a service.
Exactly.
And in doing so, they created a more sustainable business model that benefits everyone involved.
All right, now let's shift gears and talk about a company that's become like synonymous with sustainability in the apparel industry.
Adidas.
They've been making waves with their initiatives to address plastic pollution in our oceans.
Yeah, you can't talk about sustainable business models without mentioning Adidas and their partnership with Parley for the oceans.
Yeah.
What started as a seemingly crazy idea,
Right.
making shoes out of ocean plastic, has turned into a major success story.
And they didn't just like slap a recycled label on their existing products.
No, they didn't.
Adidas invested heavily in developing new technologies and processes to transform ocean plastic waste into a usable material for their shoes and apparel.
And it's not just a small amount.
Right.
If you look at their Parley collection, each item contains at least 75% intercepted marine plastic.
That's amazing.
It is.
That's not just a marketing gimmick. It's a real commitment to reducing their environmental impact.
And think about how this initiative plays out on the sustainable business model canvas.
Okay, yeah.
Their key activities now include sourcing and processing ocean plastic. Their key resources include the innovative technologies they developed to make this all possible.
And their value proposition goes beyond just, stylish sportswear.
Yeah.
It's about making a conscious choice to support a brand that's actively cleaning up our oceans.
And you know what? Adidas didn't stop there.
All right.
They took their commitment to circularity to the next level with the FutureCraft loop, a 100% recyclable shoe designed to be reborn again and again.
Wow.
Yeah. These shoes are made from a single material, so when they wear out, you just send them back to Adidas and they get broken down and turned into brand new shoes.
So it's
a closed-loop system that minimizes waste and keeps those materials in play.
It's like the shoe version of reincarnation.
Right.
But seriously, this kind of circular design thinking is what we need more of if we want to create a truly sustainable future.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's about shifting from a linear take-make-waste model to a circular make-use-return model.
All right, for our final case study, let's talk about a company you probably use every day. Netflix.
Okay, Netflix.
Now, you might not think of Netflix as a sustainability leader, but their shift from DVD rentals to digital streaming had a huge impact on their environmental footprint.
I mean, think about it. All those physical DVDs, they no longer needed to produce, package, and ship around the world.
Right.
That's a massive reduction in material use and transportation emissions right there.
It's a great example of how virtualization, moving things from the physical world to the digital world, can have significant sustainability benefits.
Yeah.
But of course, we can't ignore the energy consumption associated with streaming all those movies and TV shows.
Right.
But this highlights the importance of companies like Netflix transitioning to renewable energy sources to power their operations.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a reminder that sustainability is an ongoing journey. And as technology evolves, we need to keep adapting and addressing new challenges.
Speaking of challenges, let's talk about some of the potential pitfalls to avoid when using the sustainable business model canvas.
Okay.
One common mistake is getting so caught up in the details of each building block that you lose sight of the bigger picture.
It's easy to get tunnel vision, right? You start obsessing over each individual segment and forget that the canvas is meant to be a holistic tool.
Yeah.
All those building blocks are interconnected.
Right.
And you need to consider how they work together as a system.
Another trap is treating the canvas as a static document.
Oh, yeah.
You fill it out once and then stick it in a drawer somewhere.
Yeah.
But the reality is your business model should be a living, breathing thing that evolves over time.
That makes sense.
As you gain new insights, test your assumptions, and respond to changes in the market,
Right.
you need to be willing to revisit and revise your business model canvas.
Yeah. It's not about getting it perfect on the first try.
Exactly.
It's about using it as a tool for continuous improvement.
And finally, don't underestimate the power of communication. The Sustainable Business Model Canvas isn't just for internal planning.
Okay.
It's also a powerful tool for engaging your stakeholders.
Makes sense.
Whether you're pitching to investors, partnering with NGOs, or rallying your employees, the Canvas can help you tell a compelling story about why your business exists and the impact you're aiming to create.
So what are some of the key takeaways we can glean from these case studies and our exploration of the Sustainable Business Model Canvas?
Well, one thing that really jumps out at me is the importance of focusing on value, not just features.
Yeah.
Customers are looking for solutions to their problems and needs,
Right.
not just a list of product specs or bells and whistles.
Like Interface didn't just sell carpet tiles. They
Exactly.
sold sustainable flooring solutions.
Michelin didn't just sell tires. They sold a service for optimal tire performance and reduced costs.
It's about understanding your customers so deeply that you can anticipate their needs and offer them something truly valuable.
And that brings us to another crucial point. Understanding your customers. You need to know who they are, what they care about, and what their pain points are.
And that means going beyond just demographics and market research reports.
Yeah.
You need to actually talk to your customers, observe their behavior, and try to understand their motivations at a deeper level.
Once you have a solid understanding of your customer, you can start thinking about the best way to capture value through your revenue streams. There are so many different pricing models out there, freemium subscription, usage-based pricing, and it's about finding the model that aligns with your value proposition and resonates with your target audience.
And of course, we can't forget about the power of partnerships.
Oh, yeah. Partnerships are key.
As we saw with Interface and Adidas, strategic alliances can help you access new resources, reach new markets, and amplify your impact.
It's about recognizing that you don't have to do everything alone.
Right.
Collaborating with others can help you achieve your sustainability goals faster and create a more resilient ecosystem. It's about recognizing that, you don't have to go it alone.
Right.
Collaborating with others can help you achieve your sustainability goals faster.
Yeah, and create a more resilient ecosystem.
Exactly.
So, what does all of this mean for you? Whether you're like a seasoned sustainability professional working on government programs or like an entrepreneur with a world-changing idea, the Sustainable Business Model Canvas can be a game changer.
It really can be.
Yeah, it's a framework for translating your passion into action, for aligning your values with your business goals, and for creating a future where profit and purpose go hand in hand.
It's about building businesses that are not just good for the bottom line, but good for people and the planet.
It's about proving that sustainability isn't some kind of compromise or nice to have.
Right.
It's actually a driver of, innovation, growth, and long-term success.
The Sustainable Business Model Canvas won't magically solve all your problems, but it gives you a powerful framework for navigating the complexities of building a sustainable business.
Yeah.
It's a roadmap, a shared language, and a way to, make smarter decisions that benefit both your company and the world.
And it's important to remember this is like a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments where you might feel lost. But, having the right tools and mindset can make all the difference.
Absolutely. And one of the most powerful tools you have is the ability to connect with others who are on a similar path.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to, reach out, collaborate, learn from each other's experiences.
Exactly. The sustainable business movement is all about collective action and shared learning. We're all in this together.
So if you're ready to, take your sustainability journey to the next level, we encourage you to visit the Blue Tribe Company website at www.bluetribe.co.
They've got a ton of resources there, case studies, articles, guides, and even a community forum where you can connect with other sustainability-minded entrepreneurs and professionals.
And of course, don't forget to subscribe to The Deep Dive for more insights, inspiration, and conversations about the future of business and the planet.
We truly believe that business can be a force for good in the world.
I agree.
And we're excited to be on this journey with you.